All right, y'all. So I am back with another video attempting to make lemon cream cheese cookies. And so in this recipe, you'll need 6 ounces of cream cheese, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And it doesn't call for lemon zest, but if you don't know, like the zest helps it taste more lemony. So I'm going to also do zest of a lemon. You'll need about a tablespoon of lemon zest. You'll need a teaspoon of vanilla. It called for a third of a cup of coconut oil, but I don't want to use coconut oil. I want to use butter. So I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of butter and 1/3 cup of monk fruit and half a cup of coconut flour. And so basically what you're going to do is you're going to mix all your wet ingredients. You're going to mix all those together, and then you'll mix the dry ingredients in once that is done. And so, all right, we'll see how this goes. And basically right now what I'm doing is I'm preheating my oven to 350, and the cookies will stay in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. And so we'll see how this turns out, because the last thing that I tried, it didn't work out too well. So stay tuned. So I'm showing you in a bowl the cream cheese, the lemon zest, the lemon, the butter, and the egg, and the vanilla all being put together. This is just, just a synopsis of what it looks like. And this is what it looks like all mixed together. I'll explain in detail in a little bit why it looks this way. But now I'm adding the flour and a touch of salt, and that's about it. So this is what it looks like all mixed together. It's forming a ball. All right, guys, so I'm back. I mixed my, as I said before, I mixed my wet ingredients first, and then I mixed my dry ingredients. What I added that was not part of this recipe, which I found on Pinterest, I added a little bit of salt. Yes, I do use I use salted butter in my in whatever I make, but I wanted to ensure that that it was a balance on there. And so I'll be using this cookie scoop to put on this sheet pan with my parchment paper and baking them for 8 to 10 minutes. I'm also thinking about, you see there I go thinking, huh? I'm also thinking about putting the rest of this cream cheese on top of the cookies. And so that way it really has that buttery cream cheese texture. But guys, I do want to stress to you all that because I just took all my stuff out of this was on a whim, because I was just like, well, I want something sweet, but I'm not finna go back. And so what I should have done was put my cream cheese out and put my butter out and have them both at room temperature. I did not do that, and it was very difficult, and stuff was splattering all everywhere. If you don't want your stuff to splatter, learn from my mistakes and just go ahead and have your cream cheese and your butter at room temperature. I also should have put my egg at room temperature as well, but like I said, this was on a whim, and so I will show you what they look like on the cookie sheet. This is what they look like on a cookie sheet, and so they're kind of yellow. They have a little yellowish tint because of the lemon and the lemon zest. Normally when I'm doing a recipe video or showing you something that I'm cooking, and so you guys may be wondering, like, Wendy, why are you doing that? Like, why are you putting yourself through that, making this keto stuff that doesn't always turn out? And the reason why I'm doing that is actually for you guys. So that way you can see what to do and what not to do. Because a question was asked of me by somebody, and they wanted to know, what do I do? What do I do when I have, cravings? And so normally I try to ignore them for the most part. But when it all comes down to it, like right now, I'm at a place where I want something sweet. And no, I don't want a sugar-free popsicle. No, that's not what I want. So I was like, well, I want to make chocolate chip cookies, but when I made chocolate chip cookies before, it was with straight almond flour, and it wasn't that good. And so instead of making something that, I know I'm not really interested in eating, I was like, well, I know I like cream cheese and I know I love lemon. And so, just do it that way. So I was like, okay, well, let me see if I can find a recipe. And so the recipe that I found is from Duff, and he's on YouTube. And you can go and check his recipe out. And also, I originally found it on Pinterest, and the name that it was under was Mark Gill. And so when I looked at the video, like I saw the video in the recipe box, I was like, oh, that's Joe Duff. And so he has like a lot of good recipes and things of that nature, like not mug cakes and peanut butter cookies. Visual that asked, I was like, well, let me make something and show people that you don't have to not have stuff. Like keto bakeries are becoming popular. I know that there's some in Phoenix, some in LA, some in Dallas. Your major cities are going to have keto bakeries. And so you just have to step out, Yelp keto bakeries, because that's what I've done. I've Yelp keto bakeries, and I'm going to be going to some and, showing you guys the footage and, taste testing it on camera just to show you guys, what it really tastes like. As I said before, I prefer monk fruit because the erythritol has like that aftertaste, and stevia is just nasty. To me, that's just not my cup of tea, my tall glass of water, nothing, none of that. And so, so this video is in response to the individual that asked me about cookies. So this is what they look like when they come out of the oven. I actually had to put them back in the oven at 375 for about 4 more minutes because they were just really, really soft. But the taste of them was very good, very lemony, very cheesecakey.